me personally, I don't see the moral implications of what's going on here as a bad thing in any way. You know, protest has been as long as government has. You know, someone built a wall and someone climbed over it, and that's the point of protest. You know, that's it. And you know, you're here to do a job, we're here to do a job, and the process of governmental change comes for 1 inch at a time. We know that. You know, that's something that's understandable. So, who is the victim here, and who is the instigator, who is the bully, and who is the aggressor? That's the question. Who is the victim and who's the aggressor in this situation? Because these things all accumulate to the growth of government. So your job is to grow a government, it is to progressively move a government forward, to think in its actions, to be held accountable. Then who's the victim and who's the bully? No, this is what I mean, you haven't got an answer.
Do you see it as a victim though? This is what I don't...
Yeah, of course we do. This is
the question
around us. We control what time we wake up in the morning, they control what time we go to sleep. The water, the food that's being taken on camp. Every single, you know, calm down, this is you know, we're seeing special branch tactics. Well, I mean, even look at the colour of these vests, yeah? It's to do with colour theory, yeah? It was written by my mother. My mum was contributor to the white theory, to the white paper on this, yeah? And what it is, this is what we're seeing. So we're seeing aggro tactics from special branch coming in with a passive force of these liaison officers. Even the colour is controlled. This is why they use calming blue colours to draw you towards them, whereas the others will use bright yellows and aggressive oranges. This is why they've got Union Jacks on there. It's to do with good cop, bad cop. This is all this is. It's the whole.
Well, the orange is evidence gathering things.
Well, I mean, so I'd say that the people who are holding the cameras are the most aggressive police officers on site.
Who was, sorry?
The most aggressive police officers on site are the ones with the cameras at the moment. Plus, the other thing is, you two are bouncing off each other. You've got a team going around causing aggressive tactics, imposition of space,
pushing people around quite blatantly.
Got this force here that are dressed in a calming blue colour to say, yeah, come on, we're your friends.
No, we're not trying to be friends.
Yeah, you are. Believe me.
I've got no desire to try and have that kind of relationship with you.
So why did you just come up and start talking
I'll be friendly to you, and I'll be courteous to you.
No, I'm not saying that. Yeah, but
and I will try and develop a professional relationship with you, but I don't want to be your friend.
A professional relationship as well. That's the thing, is I'm not here as a protester. I'm here as a professional doing my job.
Yeah, okay.
Right. So what I'm saying is that my job is to understand the techniques of aggression that are being used against 15-year-old kids under the label of ASBO created by the Daily Mail here at Balcombe. Right, so this is something that there's massive reform going on in the police service and the NHS as we talk about these sort of issues, yeah? Right. So I'm trying to look at this from a point of view when I'm watching 15-year-old kids being corralled, tortured, left without sleep, controlled food and water sources. These are crimes against children here. We've said this again and again and again, but yet the continuation of these aggressive tactics by special branch is still happening to this day. So, I mean, and then on top of that now is that they can't look at this as a progressive movement, something that might change or make the government better. They have to look at it as, oh yeah, it's a gang structure. You know, these children are a gang, yeah? Because this is the point. The whole movement is to steal organic movement. Like, they're trying to steal organic movement because it works. It's a massive tool for public opinion. Right? We are the kids who have massive following on Facebook and Twitter. Right? As simple as that. So if anything's happening to us, it's because we hit 2-3 million with our posts. I can make something fashionable, quite simple. So what's happening is now is when you start to be able to make something fashionable, somebody tries to steal the fact you can do that off you. Right? So imagine that MI5 took my account now, yeah? And they could go around saying suicide bombing is fashionable. Right? They could use the media's own interest, right? We are the children of Facebook and Twitter. Facebook and Twitter is TV that talks back. Right? The revolution will not be televised. What you've got to remember is everything we've ever been told is a commercial interest attached to it. Everything. From the beginning of school, you know, even the basic fundamentals of democracy have been controlled now. Right, so what we're seeing is the birth of facial media and the birth of the right to publish, yeah, is at stake in itself now, because now we live in an age where anything can be published, right, and if one tweet can change the world. Twitter followers, because I've got 300 friends, all with 1 million Twitter followers. So what I say comes out and is retweeted enough, yeah, then one thing can change the world. Now this is the problem. We're seeing a collection of police intimidation based at these. Our only crime is that we have big following on Facebook and Twitter, right? That's as simple as that. That is all that we've done, yeah. The internet brought us here over an earth-raping drill, but we are being controlled at the moment by a private army of military technology and a firewall and a police force who are just literally torturing kids in the field. You know, we have massive example of this on camera. So
where are we torturing kids, in what field?
Well, do you want to watch the video?
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, I'd love to.
At the end of the day, listen, we have seen your tactics from day one.
If the video exists, I'd love to see it.
Rabbit has been here since day one.
Can I see it?
What? Yeah, you can see it. Yeah, you can see it. Yeah. Were you there on the eviction, the date of the eviction of that field?
No,
because I was. And believe me, yeah, there was an army of police officers. There was over 300 officers to take 20, 15-year-olds out of a field.
Right.
Right, so on top of that, there'd been 3 weeks without sleep, hoorah, tactics, barking dogs constantly, snatch squads, people were living in fear, they were sleeping in this little field, and then 300 police officers stormed on them at 8 o'clock in the morning. And what, this isn't the torture of the ASBO generation? Because it is, mate. Believe me, we are here to document and evidence the fact that ASBO is used as a torture treatment by police and special branch against 15-year-old kids with massive organic following. Right, so that's it. We know why we're here about it. We know why we're here. Right, simple as that, because the internet has brought us here to expose what's going on. I'm White Rabbit, pleased to meet you. Simple as that.
Simple as that.
That's it, mate.
Struggling to see what it's got to do with ASBOs.
Well, ASBO was it's been used quite briefly, yeah. The eviction of the field, yeah, was on a safety of the camp, yeah, ASBO. So what happened was, yes it was, mate, I was there for the eviction, I saw the eviction.
No one here has got an ASBO relating to this.
Listen,
process.
When they evicted off the field, they used antisocial behaviour laws. Believe me, we have that on film as well, yeah. So just hold, if you're not adequately fielding upon the facts, then, you know, please, I'm not, you know, all I'm saying is that let what I'm saying register.
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
Go out, wait, have a little think about it, because when we start getting police officers waking up to what's going on around us, then we might get somewhere, right? It doesn't matter whether the Daily Mail meets Cyberpunk Anarchy, right? When police officers start supporting the rape of the earth and the torture of children under ASBO laws, yeah, the oppressive tactics used by special branch training here to corral 15-year-olds, when the police officers start waking up to that, then maybe we might get something.
Do you know what special branch is?
We know what it is.
What
yeah,
is it,
of course it is. Special branch is a form of intelligent policing. Police officers who are learning, we know what that is. You're not applied to give a view, but special branch are allowed.
But what area of criminality does special branch
Special branch is to do with international.
No, it's not. It's terrorism.
Yeah, what is this being? What are we?
Counter-terrorism.
What is that? What you're saying, that we're terrorists?
No.
Because I haven't blown anyone up.
That's what I'm saying.
But yes, why?
Yes,
exactly. Why are 88-year-old artists being put on domestic threats lists as we talk now, with no criminal victim? Why was my wife put on the domestic threats list? Why is 90% of this camp being looked at for domestic threats list? None of us are terrorists, you can see that. We're not blowing anyone up, running around shouting Alec Bar, are we?
That's why there's no special branch.
Oh, right, there's no special, all right, thank you, yeah. So what you're telling me now, turn that on, there's no special branch on site. Is that what you're telling me?
There's no officers here that I believe to be part of our terrorist intelligence unit.
Well, all right, yeah, whatever.
So
where are these tactics coming from?
The vast
understand
majority
these are suppression tactics.
The vast majority are neighbour policing officers.
What, so there's no special branch up here?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Well, all right, yeah, not to my knowledge, we like that,
You know, there's a small fit.
That's what I mean, it's a bit,
but neither them are special branch officers either.
Your job here is to play good cop.
Protect the people.
Well, your job is, so what's the point in playing a good cop? You're the good cop, we know that, yeah? Your colour theory and the use of the blue colour, the drawing attraction and the lovely liaison surface are going to make you cup of tea, prove that you are the good topic.
I'll communicate in a positive,
yeah, but don't we understand your role? That's the problem, that 15-year-olds are starting to see through your techniques at the moment, and that's what it is. The generation are learning faster than the police are at the moment.
Right.
It's simple as that. What do you think Balcombe's here for? It's the point. That is exactly what it is. We've got people like Sky who know you inside and out. A 15-year-old girl who understands your instructions perfectly. We understand how you work. Right? And that's what I mean. You're learning of us, but we're learning off of you, and we are learning faster.
I mean, you've got to admit the police do get away with things that, like, us normal people. Like, if I was to go down to the tube and shoot somebody and there's witnesses
6 times in the head, without saying,
without stop, and just
but
shoot
this is what we see things at the Stephen Lawrence inquiry and
my
PC
boss,
Thompson will
this
is what we will drive through reform.
The jury has got to deliver an open verdict or not guilty on the police that done it, otherwise we will down arms.
Right.
Where's the justice in that?
And how do you think that affects?
Do you think that they were right, what they done?
It doesn't matter, that's your argument.
How do you think that affects people's attitude here?
She raised it.
Yeah,
I was
she's talking
clarifying
about
her point.
Yeah,
I wasn't making any argument at all, I was clarifying the lady's point.
Yeah.
You're saying that it's your belief
Yeah.
that the Commissioner of the Metropolitan Police
He did say that. He said
required an inquest court to return a verdict.
An open verdict or not guilty, otherwise my men will down arms.
It doesn't surprise me. On the men.
It's right. It's right.
Well, I don't. Listen, I've never read that. I would.
Yeah, we're seeing
find
massive reform at the moment. Look at
it.
Tomlinson.
You
Yeah.
won't.
Right.
Yeah,
Look at PC Tomlinson. Yeah. Now, even though there's never been a
PC
police
Tomlinson?
officer
No, Peter,
arrested
the one that was
for the
pushed.
murder,
Yes.
for a murder of anyone. What they're saying now is the Court of European Rights are saying that this is wrong now. They've overturned this verdict, and we're seeing massive reform in the police force at the moment. Yeah, we're looking at this.
But no one's held responsible, are they?
Just put out massive things against Stephen Lawrence. All of the police officers involved in the Stephen Lawrence campaign. This is something that we're yet to see yet at the moment. That there was massive infiltration by special branch here on this. Yeah, the Stephen Lawrence campaign. My job, is 6 months ahead of real time. Right, so what the paper's saying 6 months' time is what I'm seeing now, right? And that's it. It's inevitable that there will be massive reform, right? There's time for change. The police can't be. There's no such thing as secret anymore, mate. There's no such thing as secret. You stand there, you use different computer systems, blah 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 blah. And this is what we're saying, that this is a generation of freedom of press, right? The internet is run off into the fairies somewhere. Alright, it's simple as that, so there's no such thing as X25 isn't secret anymore, Prism isn't secret anymore. We're seeing massive systems that are just, they reckon Snowden's taking 1 trillion bits of data a day.
Who?
Alright, the Prism Foundation, Ed Snowden, who's sitting the geezer sitting in Russia at the moment, they reckon there's 1 trillion bits of data in one day coming off that, So all of your silly tactics will be leaked. It's simple as that. It's going to happen, we understand that. Yeah,
it will
of course it will. So you're looking at massive reform, and the police are going to be told to do their job now. They're actually going to be told to do their job. Right, so these techniques at the moment, they're not ever going to come to fruition. Nothing you ever think about is going to come to fruition.
But your
It's simple as that.
you just don't.
Yeah, well, hopefully if we got some police officers waking up on this, then we might stand a chance of winning. Because until you lot stand on the front line with us, then it ain't happening.
Yeah.
Right, and
I'll
that's
be honest with you though, with the greatest respect, I've struggled hugely to follow your argument.
I'm not asking you to, I'm an academic with degrees coming out.
So therefore, it's very difficult for me to have any response.
Because the media you get is so filtered, you don't understand. My newsfeed's like Rupert Murdoch.
You're challenging me to learn something, but actually you've not really made a point.
Yeah, but why don't you let it process and go and research about what I'm saying,
Right, but what is your point?
What my point is, this
in a
whole
nutshell,
thing is
summarise it in a sentence for me.
The whole thing is this whole camp is an experiment to torture 15-year-olds, right, who are responsible for all mass organic movement and mobilisation on Facebook and Twitter.
Right. So how many 15-year-olds are here?
Well, there's a few of them.
Right.
There's an army of 15-year-olds. Haven't you realised that?
Right.
This is the children of anarchy in one field, mate. At the end of the day, so what you've got to remember is
because you'll admit it's predominantly adults, isn't it?
No, it's predominantly adult that side, and this is predominantly children that side.
Right.
So what you've got to think about, no, you're looking at the next generation of anarchy is coming through here.
Right.
Right, and these are the people who have got your card marked.
Right.
Quite simple.
I see.
You know, that's it. It's like, you know, when you lie to someone all their life, and these, you know, 15-year-olds, and they are 15, 16-year-olds, who are waking up to aggressive special branch policing tactics, yeah? You're in trouble, mate. Simple as that. You know, and that's it. That's it, because you don't have an answer to this. You don't have an answer to lolsy conversations.
Well, because they don't want to go and do the research. They think that they just think that it's a load of conspiracy theories. But they've been brought up to believe that it's all conspiracy theories. It's very difficult.
I don't get paid enough to.
It's very difficult for me to break out of that mindset, let alone for a policeman. You know what I mean?
I've had it. Someone was saying to me, I was chatting to a police officer the other day. I was arrested the other day, and I went into hospital with my heart. And he turned around to me and he went, I was chatting about Facebook and Twitter, and he said, oh, blah 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 blah. I said, I've got like 8,000 Facebook friends, 2,000 followers. You know, my Twitter becomes massive at stages, over 1 million. Can hit posts to over 1 million with certain friends of ours. And he said to me, oh, I'd love to do that. I've only got 25 friends on my Facebook. Right, so what you got to remember is you are. Also, the other thing is now, even the NSA's complete bid to control the internet is still not being controlled. Yeah, so television, and then what's happening is we're also seeing a double kick in the nuts, yeah, because what's happening is even though television is being less used than the internet now. So the internet now has more users than television watchers. So the X Factor...
Which brings us back to the point of what we were saying about media. Yeah, we have had media coverage here, but it is very skewed.
Yeah, and at the moment...
That's why I come down here. I mean, you won't see your officers ramming us down the road like you do on my videos in the media. You won't see that, and it's on film, it's real, it does really happen. But you won't see it on the mainstream media. What you'll hear on the mainstream media is we're a bunch of lunatics hated by the local residents. You won't see the local residents coming up down and offering to do our washing and producing our food.
We've gone home now,
So the media is, the mainstream media is skewed.
I have to go and attend a meeting of local residents next week to listen to their concerns about the effect of this protest on their neighbourhood.
And we constantly have residents come down here who are concerned about the massive police presence here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, how's about the effects of the drill?
And also the residents here are worried about their water, which you're not prepared to do anything about.
Yeah, but it's a minority.
It's not a minority. 82% of the local residents.
30% responding population.
Okay, but that's still 82% they responded against.
Well, no, because they're so happy.
Mate, listen, David Cameron got voted in on less votes than that, and he's running roughshod over the.
At the same time, Jen.
David Cameron was voted in on less percentage votes than that, right? And Nick Clegg, right? And they are running roughshod over the laws and the welfare system that we've built up over years and years and years, right? Now they're allowed to do that, but you're not prepared to consider that 30% vote in the village here has any relevance against Quadrilla.
I'm not saying it's irrelevant. I'm saying
no, it's not.
that there is a significant diversity of opinion.
Who's paying your wages?
In the village, right? There are people that are pro-fracking. There are people that are anti-fracking, but also anti the demonstration. And there are people that are anti-fracking and pro the demonstration.
Absolutely.
And we have to, and as a police service, we have to listen to all three factions.
Yeah. What about the fact that money talks, and when these house prices have fallen through the roof, when the property around, exactly. This is what I was saying. So there should be no problem to the protest. And this is what we're saying, that public opinion is changing. Right? Yeah. This is why you've taken the news away.
If you want him to put it in a nutshell, that's exactly it.
Listen, whatever, mate. At the end of the day, I'm telling you something. Yeah, we've seen this already. Yeah, it's a blanket.
You don't personally. You don't personally.
Facebook page, mate. Because I can't get online.
No, your chief officer probably doesn't.
Yeah, it's like that's what I mean. Oh yeah, there's
Is
no
your chief officer a Freemason?
Yeah, I can't get online.
You don't know.
How do I know that? How do I know that?
I don't know. Don't you think it would be good if you did know?
Why do you think?
Why? Don't you think you should know? If he's got secondary loyalties to the Masons, don't you think that that's relevant?
Don't you think that might be a commercial interest?
If he was, and I have no idea if he is or not. If he was, he would have disclosed it to the Professional Standards Department.
Right.
Whether they are required to share it with an officer of the rank of only sergeant is a whole different matter.
Yeah.
The fact that I don't know has no bearing on whether or not he's corrupt.
That's what our job here is to get to the bottom of.
Okay.
That's what we're doing.
Public opinion is changing, and the world is waking up to the fact that it does matter. That these things that I'm talking to you about, whether you know, whether your leading officers are actually sworn allegiance to another force, a different strategy, that is relevant, and public opinion is noticing that.
That's why it's disclosable. That's why they disclose it.
No, good
well,
question.
but
who is paying your wages?
You wouldn't be that. It wouldn't be disclosed to you.
The taxpayers of West Sussex.
Right, no, but who is? What is this job here? Who is paying your wages?
The taxpayers of West
Sussex. Right,
Sussex.
so why are you looking after a commercial interest like Quadrilla with military tech in the field? These MOD contracts, Daily Mail have already proved this, yeah? So there's MOD contracts here, a military firewall, suppressing media knowledge around here, being supported by an army of police officers. Well, we know this, yeah? So who is paying your wages?
The taxpayers.
Right, so why is Quadrilla dictating, why the company that's so immoral that it pays the fines before it commits the actions, why are they dictating this situation down here? Because this is the problem, because America has their hooks too deep into Cameron at the moment. Right? So whose interest is this down here? Is this Quadrilla interest the interest of a bunch of freeloading hippies? Or is it about every Briton here? Does Cameron support this anti-fracking operation? Because he can't turn around and tell Obama, no, don't worry, I ain't going to put this in his bill, because he's expected under the special relationship too. Right, so the special relationship means America takes a lot and doesn't give anything back. Now, for a country now that is $172 trillion in debt and has Russia, China and India baying at the doors of America for gold back at the moment that they don't have, right, with half of the place going into state of civil war, right, we've got military rule in half of America. We've got whole states, Detroit, Michigan, Connecticut, all going bankrupt now. Yeah? So America has no standing financially in this world whatsoever anymore. Now, if I was David Cameron, would you be standing there to these people going, I know what, let's go and put a load of protesters in Balcombe, the middle of England, right? Every fight what it is to be British, yeah? Let's go and get them and hope that this thing wins. Right, because they don't want this drill. No one wants this drill. You don't want this drill, you just don't know it yet.
Yeah. Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
You don't, listen.
Right.
You don't, that's it. This is the whole point of it, yeah? You don't know. That's what I'm saying. This is what we're saying, that this is real time. We're working in real time. So we are affecting change now for 6 months' time. Right? Now this is the problem. You are not working in real time.
I mean, this has gone global on the media. Hasn't it?
It is, yeah.
And why do you think that is? If you don't think that at some point at a later date you are going to say, I don't want that drill, why do you think there's millions of people all over the world who are waking up to it?
This is fracking is the Martin Luther King of it.
It's obvious it's of interest to people.
Listen,
who's denying that?
When Mandela was in prison, right? When Mandela was in prison for 27 years, don't you think they turned around to you and went, everyone's going to forget you? Yeah, don't worry, you got no one outside the jail looking up for you. No one cares about you. Don't you think they've done that for 27 years? Right? So what you got to remember now is this is the Martin Luther King of protests here. Right, we are looking at the people standing there saying we ain't having this. Right, whether you know it or not, in 10 years' time, you're going to turn around and go, oh, police them anti-fracking demonstrations. Right, because that is a part of history. This is becoming a massive part of history now. Right, so what you've got to remember is whose side do you lie on? Who's paying your wages? Right, because your job is to serve and protect. Right, you took an oath, yeah, to keep people safe in this land. Well, the only people you're keeping safe at the moment is a Canadian company run by American money.
Right.
Not delaying rights or justice surely includes right to clean water.
You know, at the end of the day, you've got to stay where Quadrilla are actually saying, oh, they're bullying us.
Very simple. Quadrilla's side, at least from the private landowner there,
yeah, but where should money dictate?
By private security people.
So you're telling me now, yeah?
We're only out on the highway.
You're telling me, if I go and buy a field now, I buy this bit of land, yeah, and I put an earth-breaking drill on it and a military firewall, right, loads of MOD technology, yeah, then I can do that, can I? That's exactly the point. What they're doing is wholly illegal.
You get a licence for it.
No,
if you get a licence for it, doesn't there sound something a bit weird about that in your head?
People are paying the fines.
If I can buy a licence, I'm allowed to rape the world.
You apply for permission.
No, these people haven't. The reason why we're all here is because that system has broken down. And it didn't work because the politicians and the people high up who are absolute shareholders of Quadrilla are controlling the system, and that's why we've got to this point.
The Senate is already, even the US Senate, where all these legislation came from,
they can have permission to do any further work then.
Well, the local MPs, what's his name?
I don't even know.
Francis Maud is a Quadrilla shareholder.
Right. Don't know about that.
You don't know about that? Well, don't you think you should find out?
Yeah, that's on film.
No, you don't think you should find out?